Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you guys are doing well this morning. Decided to drop by. I'll be talking with you guys a little later on about something more specific in the collective. But right now, I want to share something with you that will hopefully encourage you and get you in the right mindset to start your day. And it's extremely important that you start your day off right. There are a multitude of studies out there that show that how you get your mindset, how you start your day off as far as your mindset is concerned, has an immense impact on how the rest of your day will go, how you perceive things, how you engage things, your attitude, the energy you emit can be greatly influenced by how you start your day. It's extremely important for me every morning when I wake up to remind myself why I'm getting up. I get up every morning on purpose, with a focus. I am never simply rising to enter into a day without an idea of what that day means to me and what I mean to that day. In other words, I understand my purpose, I understand my goals, I understand my whys, and I'm immediately connected and constantly connected with my purpose and my destiny. And what I want to talk to you about, people always ask me all the time, hey Doc, man, I checked out your video, or I was at one of the events you spoke at. I saw you speak to the youth the other day, and your son brought a video home he shot when you spoke to the kids, whatever it is. I'm asked all the time, what is it about you that keeps you so lit? You're always so passionate. You're always so emotionally engaged in what you're doing. First and foremost, if you're doing something that you're not passionate about, you're draining yourself of valuable energy. If you're doing something you're not passionate about, if you're not living in your passion, if what you're doing isn't something that you know you're connected to and you're built for, then you are literally committing spiritual suicide. You're robbing yourself and you're robbing your gift. You're wasting valuable time living in something that's not building you and not truly inspiring anyone else. I tell them all the time, man, for people who talk about how emotional and impassioned I get in my videos, you haven't seen anything until you see me actually speak in public. I'm lit, man, because I'm grateful. And I'm grateful because I look at my life, and while there have been numerous challenges and difficult moments, I've overcome them all. I've set out from a place where most people that I grew up with are dead or in jail, are struggling and not achieving those things in life that they desire, or have lost their desire to even go after their dreams. They're just living in small, ingrained, encompassed in limited boundaries, living an existence where they're simply struggling to survive. And then I look, and while I've had numerous challenges, while I've been punched in the gut, kicked in the gut, knocked in the head, knocked down, stomped on, I refuse to quit. And when I refuse to quit, I always rise, I always win. So when I'm talking to people, I'm not regurgitating something I learned in some life coach class or some motivational class or something I read in a book. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably one of the most well-read people you'll meet. About 10 years ago, I started to go through this transformation and this challenge. And I determined that my life needed to take a change. While I had been successful as far as wealth and, and some other things, athletics, some other things, there was still this emptiness inside. And I decided it was time to move on to move in my purpose, stop being so self-centered and going after everything I wanted, and really started to walk in my purpose and to help others. And when I did that, I understood something, because I understood that everything I had going in life was because I became that which I wanted to be. In other words, if you want to be somewhere, you got to become the person that fits into that desire and into that design. You can't say you want to be wealthy and not become develop a mindset of wealth building, develop a mindset of being wealthy. You become something before you achieve it. You have to become it before you achieve it. And so I said, okay, I need to change. So for 5 years, I literally made it my point to read 100 books per year, a minimum. And, you know, I think during that 5-year period, I think the least amount of books I read was 115 books in a year. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of time management. It takes being able to get to yourself and do what you do. And I did this at a time when I was really, really focused on change, but also going through a lot. But what it did is it prepared me to be where I'm at and who I am today, to be able to stand before people and tell them that no matter how dark it gets, that you can function in the darkness, that you can rise to the occasion. And it's just really, really, really exciting to me. I talk about anticipation all the time. That's how I live my life. I don't live my life in the circumstance. I live my life with anticipation. I'm always anticipating and expecting greatness. I'm always anticipating the next thing that's going to happen, that's going to elevate me and empower me to do greater things and empowering others. I get excited about the opportunity to help people change their lives. So yes, when I engage people, I'm excited because I know what I'm sharing with you. If you embrace it, if you hold on to it, if you become committed to it, it's nothing that you cannot accomplish in life. I'm excited because I understand that the only limitations in this world are the limitations that you create with your own mind. I understand that when you start to peel off the limitations of your thinking and you start to embrace the possibilities of your capacity and your potential, the fact that at this present moment you're using no more than 10% of your mental capacity in your mind, and that other 90% has some unbelievable and extraordinary potential to do some things that you never imagined. I understand that when you become aware of the fact that if you can conceive it in your mind, you can achieve it in this world and in life, then I'm speaking from the heart. Tell people all the time, I no longer write my lectures or my speeches. Why? Because when I come from the heart, I'm sharing the rational, the intellectual, and the logical points that are necessary for people to gain an understanding of what it takes. But I'm also speaking from the heart and the passion of what it feels like to achieve, to overcome difficult moments and move against the odds and win. You know, you're going to face odds all your life. There's always going to be something that's counted against you that you have to overcome. That is a part of life, but you're built for it. You're built to overcome every obstacle that you face. You're built to overcome. Good morning, Shamika. Good morning, Mike. Hey, Nisi, I see you over there, Keisha. All of you out there, look, check this out. This past week, it was exciting for me because what I did a free 3-day virtual seminar with people who probably, for one reason or another, wouldn't be able to work with me, whether it was time constraints, financial restrictions, or whatever. And I've just made up in my mind, one of the things I promised myself when I really started to focus on building my legacy is that I would never hold my gifts hostage based on money. And that's a challenging thing when the way you make your living is with your gifts, and you're saying you're not going to hold your gift hostage. What that meant to me is there are people out there that can't afford what I do, and I've got to find a way to get what I do to them so that they can get to a level that they can afford to work with me one-on-one. And I was just, I mean, for the last 3 years, I've struggled with it. I've tried this, I've tried that, and when I would try to discount services that I offer now, like my least expensive services are life coaching services, and that range anywhere from like $500 to around $1,200 depending on what package you get. And other programs where I work more intensely, and we're talking about dealing with more psychological issues, overcoming things like that. And for instance, my elevation and empowerment course is right now at $3,100. It's going to $5,500 in January, and I'm moving up from there. Those are out of reach of some people, but I don't think anybody should have to be in a situation where they can't receive the encouragement and inspiration I offer. So I speak at lectures, I go to places, and that's still 3 years ago. I'm trying to find a way to get that in front of people that I really want to encourage and empower. And I would try discounting my programs, but what was happening, I was devaluing something that I had already determined the value on. So I couldn't even really push it, and people wasn't even taking it serious. So I decided I'm not discounting any of my programs anymore. And matter of fact, as the value of those programs go up, so does the price of the program. And I tell people all the time, while some people tell you always make people pay you what you're worth, I don't believe in that, because I believe that I'm priceless. I'm invaluable. You can't pay me what I'm worth, but you can pay me based on the value that I'm supplying to you, based on what I'm giving you specifically and the value that's in that. You can pay me. You can't pay me what I'm worth. That was one of the things I try to teach people. Develop a worth that's priceless. Develop something where you know who you are. That will teach you how to value your time. That will teach you how to price your products. When you determine what it is that you're going to sell, whatever it is, you're going to base your products based on, first of all, your value. And the first thing I think about with my value is my most prized asset. The most valuable asset I have is my time. If you're taking up my time, you're taking up my most valuable asset, and you have to pay for that in some form or fashion. And I don't believe in working with people that aren't willing to invest in themselves. Maybe you don't have everything, and I understand that. And that's what this past week was about. It was about giving people an opportunity to sit in front of something long enough to find out whether it had the capacity to help them. And I'm excited about that. And what I determined is, I'm going after something in 2017 huge. It's my next challenge in life. It's what I'm putting in front of me. Those of you who have kept up with me for any time, you know that I've 10 years ago started going through some things. About 4 years ago, it peaked and I hit rock bottom. And now it's my recovery phase. I'm coming out of it. That's going to be life. You're going to have those times where you get knocked off your kilter. You're climbing, you're making it, and you think you got it all whipped, and all of a sudden you get knocked off and you feel like you got to start over. That can be deflating. That can literally take the life out of you, the breath out of you, and make you want to quit. But you got to have a mindset to understand you're built for this. When I reach that point, I pick myself up and say, hey, let's go get it. I'm going back. And not only am I going back, and not only am I coming back, but I'm coming back bigger, stronger, better in every area of life. And that's what I'm doing now. But in 2017, I've decided that I'm going to stop playing small with my motivational life coaching and counseling business. In other words, lecturing and all of that. I'm going after the upper echelons. I'm going to play with the big boys. I'm going out there and I'm going to do whatever it takes in developing myself and creating the right plan and working it. But I'm going out there to get what some of the big boys getting. Not so much for the money. Of course, I'm about building generational wealth to pass on to my progeny. I'm about making sure that nobody has to take care of me when I decide I no longer want to work. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that I'm taken care of financially, but it's bigger than that. It's about increasing and expanding my capacity to reach the lives and inspire others, empower others, and develop others on a grand scale. So I'm going out there to hang with the Les Browns, the E.T.s, the Jim Rohns, all these guys, to touch the things that Zig Ziglar touched. I'm one of those people. While all of those people have been an inspiration to me in some way. I've read their books. I've went to their lectures. I've sat down and studied their lives. I can tell you their stories. I know what they went through. I know Les Brown's life story. I know what drove him to be who he is today. I know how someone who graduated from high school being declared mentally retarded and not having a college education is one of the highest paid lecturers and motivational speakers in this world today at over $150,000 a lecture. I know what got him there. I know how Eric Thomas went from being homeless to where he's at right now. I know the story because I studied him. That's the wonderful thing about being authentic, is that I have a story that I can share with people of where I come from and how I've gotten where I've gotten, how to recover from poor mistakes and poor decisions, how not to allow your past to be the dictator of your future. I tell people all the time, you should never mortgage your future to pay for your past. And so many of you are doing that right now. You're literally mortgaging away your future, trying to make up for something you did in the past. What's in the past is in the past. The mistakes you made, you need to learn from them and you need to let them go. They're in the past. You're carrying baggage that you shouldn't carry. You're holding on to things of people did you. Let it go. It's holding you back. It's weighing you down. That baggage is not needed for where you're going. Learn from it. Let it go. Stop trying to hold people hostage for something they did 20 years ago. Let them go. If they haven't changed, if they haven't become better, let them go. If they've changed, let them off the hook. It's time to move forward. But I'm going into 2017 going after that, and I'm going to get it. That's one thing I can tell you. I don't lose. I'm going to get it. I'm going to be that person. That's what I'm going to do. But I want to bring you with me, and that's what I'm going to do. So from now all the way through 2017, I'm going to do at least one weekly webinar where we're going to attack one principle of success, one principle of wealth development, one principle of healthiness. I told you yesterday that there are at least 4 areas in life where you have to be on point. You got to be healthy holistically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You've got to be healthy. You've got to be healthy spiritually. But check this out. You also have to develop wealth, wealth, happiness, and love. You've got to have all of those areas covered. And I'm going to bring you principle after principle, week after week, with a free webinar once a week. I'll have another one at the end of this week. And every week from that, we're going to talk about something and build something absolutely free. It's nothing. Of course, I would love to have some people that show up to these webinars, sign up with me and work with me directly so I can build a program for you that's specific to your gifts, specific to the current position you're in, specific to the goals you're striving for. But at the same time, I'm going to give a piece of me every week to anybody who is willing to invest their time, their most valuable asset, in coming and hanging out with me for an hour once a week. We're going to do that. And then I'm also offering for those who attended this past week's seminar, I invited them to become a part of a program forum that I created called the Power Team. The Power Team is a membership. It is based on membership. It's a membership subscription. The membership subscription is going to be $50 after midnight tonight, but I gave them an introductory price of $20 for a year membership, and that's meeting with me on a daily basis in a closed group forum where I'm going to be sharing with them. They're going to be sharing with me. They're going to be masterminding with one another. We're going to get together. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to talk about what your dreams are, your visions are. We're going to build plans. We're going to do all that, and every week, once a week, we're going to have a video conference where we all get on video. I'm going to talk to you for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to kick off engagement and deal with those demons of inferiority, those demons of self-hatred, those demons of low self-esteem, low self-concepts, all of those things. We're going to address those things on that stage. And this is an environment where you can show up and talk about your dreams without having to worry about the negativity of everybody around. This is a safe place you can show up and share with other people who are aspiring to do something great with their life without worrying about being judged or being told that your dreams are unrealistic or that you're setting goals that are too lofty. We're going to come and be in an environment where if we don't believe, we'll learn how to believe. We'll learn how to have confidence in ourselves. That's something that's happening. You have the link right here on the page right now. Anybody who wants to be a part of this membership who has not yet signed up can go to my page at www.rickwallacephd.link. The link is on there. When you get to the page, just hover over the Life Change Courses and Programs tab, and the drop-down menu will come down, and just click on the one that says the Power Team. Get your subscription, because that is going up to $50. At $50, what I'm going to be giving you, you're going to have access to me on a daily basis in this group and this forum. You'll be able to share and talk to other people and brainstorm with other people. You'll have a hour-long video conference every week with me. We'll be talking. Remember, we're going to be setting up plans and programs to overcome those things that are in front of us and achieve what we set out to achieve. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it. Again, though, I'm not a pressure salesman. I'm not a guilt salesman. I'm not one of those people going to tell you if you don't invest in yourself, you're sorry, you're trifling, you ain't doing. It's got to be something you want. It's got to be something that you want. It's got to be something that you're ready to do, that you're investing in you. I can't coax you into it. It's got to be something you're yearning for on the inside that makes you want to do it, that makes you want to say, this year is my year. Now, and because we're spiritual beings, how we think and how we feel impacts the spiritual world. And while the new year is simply a date to most people, but because we give such emphasis to this date, we look at it as a new beginning, a new start. There's literally a spiritual portal that will open up starting around December 26 or 27, when you'll be able to really develop a mindset and capacity to use your spiritual energy to start creating your reality. And you'll be able to go into this new year through this spiritual portal with a different mindset and with a higher expectation and with a greater access to your spiritual capacity and an understanding of how your mind creates your reality. And I want to really get that going and get everybody fired up. So get ready for that. But like I said, I'm going in with my own goal, and my goal is, yes, extremely lofty. It's extremely lofty, and that's how I set my goals. I love to fail forward, meaning I set my goals to a point to where I rarely reach them by the specified time, but I guarantee you I'm way ahead of where I started from when I get to that specified time. Just say I set a goal for a month to make 100,000. I may get 60 in that month, but I'm $60,000 ahead of where I was when I started that. And then I'll get the other 40 in the next 2 weeks in the next month. That's how I look at life. I'm going to set it high. I'm never going to set a goal I'm comfortable with. Stephen Furtick once said in his book, Son, Stand Still. Stephen Furtick said, if the vision that you have for yourself isn't so large, isn't so huge that it's intimidating you, it's probably insulting God. What he's saying is you weren't designed to be mediocre. You weren't designed to be average. You weren't designed just to survive. You were designed to do the exceptional, to do the extraordinary, to be impactful in the world around you, to raise the level of expectation in your life. Remember, life is only going to meet you at the level of your expectations. Only what you expect from life and out of life you will ever receive. If you don't raise your standards, if you don't raise your expectations, if you don't become that which you desire to be in your mind first and in your actions and in your practices, you will never become or never achieve those goals. You have to change you. You are where you're at right now because of who you are. If you want to change where you're at, you're going to have to change who you are. I believe it was Albert Einstein that says, you can never change the situation you're in using the thinking that got you there in the first place. You got to change. So I'm loving the opportunity of being able to work with you guys. I'm hoping that you will take advantage of it. I'm going to keep sharing these videos on social media. I'm going to keep building it. I've already launched a new YouTube channel where I'm going to share this specific information for Visionetics 2020, the concept I created to help people visualize who they are and what they will become. I'm going to share these videos on that site. So in addition to the site I have now, which is more tied into the collective, it's going to be a lot that you can get on this Visionetic site as far as encouragement. But whatever you do, take advantage of that. Like I said, I would love to work with you one-on-one. But if those of you that are not ready for that yet, not ready to invest at that level, you've got to invest in yourself at some point. So sign up for the membership. Those of you that have signed up already, I noticed that everyone that has signed up for automatic renewal, meaning that you really believe you're going to get something out of this and you're ready to renew already a year from now. That tells me your mindset is in a new place, that you're already living with some expectations of what you're going to get out of this. And the thing is, you're going to get everything that you think you're going to get and expect. If you invest yourself, if you become committed, you only lose when you quit. If you invest yourself, you will. Now, one thing I tell everyone, one thing that has kept me going my entire life is this. I never see delay as denial. Delay never means denial to me. See, there's a lot of people get right to the point of a breakthrough in what they're trying to accomplish in their life, and they experience delay and they give up. So many people, I know you've probably seen memes like that, where people are like inches away from achieving or grabbing something exceptional and they quit, they lay down and they give up. I'm not a quitter. I don't give up. I'm pushing through. I don't care how long it takes. If my 1-year plan turns to a 5-year plan, I'm going to be grinding. Every morning when I wake up, I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to be grinding because I grind on GP. General principle, I grind. I'm going to get up every morning with grinding on my mind. I'm going to get up every morning with purpose on my mind. I'm going to get up every morning with an idea of who I am, why I'm here, and what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to waste my 86,400 seconds on doing nothing that has no purpose. My rest moments have purpose. My sleep moments had purpose. As I get off of here, enter today with a different thought process. Enter today anticipating something good is going to happen. Enter today with an idea, an image in your mind of something extraordinary or spectacular happens. Then once you visualize it, invest it. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. I keep saying that, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. You've got to discover why you're here. Discover what it is in life that you absolutely have to have. Because I'm going to tell you something. We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we have to have. That's why you raise your standards on what you have to have. I don't have my have tos aren't in the survival range. My have tos are in the exceptional range. Everything that I have to have is in the exceptional range. I am not having none of my expectations and anticipations in the mediocre range. None of them. I don't want to be mediocre in anything. And that's why I'm taking this business and taking it to the next level. And then I'm going to use what I get from this to take the other businesses to the next level. I am going after it. I invite you to do it. Like I say all the time, I'm going down E. I refuse to leave anything left undone. I'm going to down E. I'm going to the grave on E. I'm not taking one potential, one idea, one concept, nothing to the grave with me. I'm going to the grave having left it all on the playing field. I encourage you to do the same thing. I encourage you to get invested in being the best you can be and step into exceptional and phenomenal. I love each of you guys. Take care. I'm out. Peace.